Hello, and welcome to today's Midday Meditation. I am, as always, so grateful that you've joined us here, no matter where here is for you. Welcome. And today, as we get seated comfortably, as we always do, get seated nice and comfortably in your seat. And just feel yourself settle in to whatever it is that's supporting you. Just let the effort release. You can close the eyes. Notice yourself settling into this earthiness, into this groundedness. Maybe feeling those bones, the heaviness of them settling into your chair, your seat. Just letting the muscles relax on the foundation of those bones. And then the joints, the internal organs, the skin of our body just settles into that support. And then we just take a few breaths. Just take a few breaths. This is the foundation of our midday practice. But it's also this place where then we can be receptive. Be receptive to our inner wisdom, our insights. And where it's just this perfect place to share a contemplation, breaking us out of the activity or out of the information or out of the knowledge or out of whatever it was that your day has been up till this point and what it will continue to be after. In these ways that we break the momentum of all that is happening in our external world, happening that we intake through the senses, we come back to this place of calm and this place of grounding. And what's coming up for me today related to this has a lot to do with, I think, the seasonal shifts in energy that are happening. We have just passed the day of the spring equinox. That particular alignment that happens in the natural world, in this grand universal intelligence, that point in time where there is in the experience this perfect balance of light and dark. The point in time where we shift from more dark into more light. It's a very profound transformation point, transition point. I think that is absolutely amazing. All of these things that happen that line up just perfectly from that grand universal energy intelligence that's at work. And we can see that unfolding before us. Like I said, the equal balance of light and dark. And now, as we move past the equinox, increasing light. You can see that as you look outside or look around you, you can feel the difference in temperature. If you're in the Northwestern Hemisphere, you can feel the increase in warmth. If you look outside, you can see the budding of the trees. It's a delightful thing I looked out at today. It's the first day I've noticed as I look out at this glorious maple tree in my backyard from where I sit. Little buds appearing on the trees. It's incredible. You might notice little bulbs making themselves known in your garden. You definitely have likely heard the birds come alive and chirping in the morning and the evening. These little places where we can witness and experience the transformation. And that shift all happened in that transition point. I think that's just incredible. And certainly bringing our attention to it or our turning our gaze to it, our observational abilities toward it, we can see how that is all true. And I think the especially profound thing, or another especially profound thing that comes to mind for me as I'm contemplating this transition, and as I spoke about this kind of what's coming up for me today in terms of sharing, is that it's a shift of energy that's happened from the internalizing energies of the winter into the externalizing energies of the spring, the summer, and then in the fall and the winter we come back in, right? So this constant ebb and flow, which makes sense because we can see it. But we couldn't have all of that outward expansion, all of that glory, all of that splendor without first coming back within. Well, we can't visually see all that's happening in the colder months because it's not out there. It's not out there. We can't see what's happening inside of the tree. We can't see what's happening in its root systems, in its core, all of the renewed energy that it is creating by the internalizing energies of the season. It's all happening beneath the surface or on the inside. But it is upon that foundation that the rest can happen. And so we can use the analogy of the transition of the seasons in our lives by thinking about how your energy shifts and changes over the year, throughout the year. Right now that it's becoming spring, this feeling, this momentum that we maybe experiencing the wanting to get outside, to shed the old layers of the winter, to refresh, to renew. It feels like this momentum that's pushing forward. And to know that that is a natural state that is in alignment with that wonderful universal intelligence. We are part of that. But I think we forget that, or can forget that connection, which is why taking a break like we do here can help us connect with it, even without all of the dialogue, even without all of the contemplation I offer. Every time we break the momentum, break the cycle of that which we were engaged in, right? All of the external response to the external, response to what's happening through our senses. When we cut that input, these little moments that we create when we do so, create that point for us to reconnect with that universal intelligence, no matter what time of the year. In fact, you could consider these little moments, these little breaks, to be that small retraction, that inward energy, that, like the winter, where we're bringing things back to our foundation, to our roots, to ground, to renew, to restore our energies, to restore our vitality, so that when we come back, or the season or the moment has changed and we're back in the world, it's from that strength, because we've taken the time to rebuild at that core. And this is why these little moments are so powerful. And as I've mentioned, as I talk about time and time again, it doesn't have to be in these, 16, 20-minute conversations that we have every week, but in the little moments as well that you take from here and you practice, even like we did at the beginning, where you just close your eyes and settle, take a breath. Maybe close your eyes, do a little stretching. Maybe you've got a breath, your favorite kind of breath practice. All of those count. All of those count. Because it is not necessary to always have a significant, big overhaul to make a change. In fact, if you're waiting for those or looking for those, you're likely going to be waiting a long time for the situation, the scenarios in life to line up in the right way for that to happen. But I think it's the little moments that actually add up to the biggest transformations, because the little moments then become the habits, the lifestyle. Little moments make big ripples. And so what we do here together is different. Our approach is different. So much of what is out there, like I said, is that big, impactful, wholesale lifestyle thing, change that requires the whole world to align to make it work long term. So much of what we see, what we experience out there, is this kind of top-down approach to getting things done, to figuring things out. But what we do here is different. What I talk about here is different, and how I support my clients is different. It's more of this bottom-up, foundation first, little moments of lived experience This is the heart of stressless living. This is where we find our calm. And calm as your foundation is what will create that sustained clarity, confidence, ease, and joy. You are now ebbing and flowing as a part of life within the world. And so I am always so grateful when you join me here and we can talk about these things and do this work together. This is real embodiment, real transformation. And I don't know about you, but you can just breathe easier knowing that each little moment counts. And so as we wrap up our time today, I invite you to really just linger here. Linger here in this moments of internalizing, where you are restoring your reserves, where you are creating the internalization, inward flow of your energy, so that when you get back out there, you are in your full glory and splendor, just like the beautiful trees, the flowers, the birds, all that is this beautiful season of spring. Spend a good few minutes here. And until next time, I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.